Welcome to Spotlight on Science. I'm Tony Williams. This week we talked with
Barrett Scroggs,
who is looking into how people develop in the emerging adulthood years. That's 18 to 29 years old. So, people who can't walk a straight line because they're texting all the time.
Even more specifically, my research deals with LGBTQ emerging adults. And so looking at folks who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer.
Just to make sure you've got it, that's LGBTQ, CIA, MI6, LMNOP. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. While much of our identity develops during our teen years, any college student can tell you that the identity development doesn't stop there. In fact, it continues through emerging adulthood. Scroggs wants to know how LGBTQ individuals in that stage of development experience social support, as opposed to arch support, which we know is bad. Seriously, heels, they're not comfortable.
Folks like their friends and family, their neighborhoods, and how those social networks impact things like their well-being, their self-esteem, their life satisfaction.
Scroggs also studies how LGBTQ individuals experience and practice religion across their lifespans.
I think a lot of folks just kind of assume that gender and sexual minority individuals are not religious and that that's not something that's important to them.
But that's not true.
It's not just their sexual orientation or gender identity predicts whether or not they'll go to church.
Scroggs says it's other things, like race and gender, or whether or not someone was raised religious. In fact, sometimes it's the way people define their connections to the same community. Scroggs found that people who say their LGBTQ identity is an important part of their personal identity have lower rates of church attendance.
Alternatively, folks who say that they feel connected to the LGBT community, they're predicted to have higher levels of church attendance and religiosity.
They also listen to Hosier more. Just guessing on that one. Hosier? Take me to church, I worship like... Right. The rest of the episode. Scroggs says even he thought that people who were connected to the LGBTQ community would have much lower rates of religiosity.
Too often we assume that we know a lot about a group of people, a community, and it's based in stereotype.
But just because someone identifies as a larger group, it's generally a bad idea to assume you know everything about them. Everything. Scroggs says there's differences in every group of people.
Being able to recognize that and to celebrate that and to explore what makes people different even within their identity groups, I think is what's really exciting about the work that I do.
In fact, it's his favorite part of research. Thanks for watching Spotlight on Science. I'm Tony Williams. Make sure to subscribe to Wildcat Watch for more great student-made video content.